Unified Mini Youth Summit. First, I'd like to thank all of you for coming out today. Today, we are planning to discuss what issues affect people in the community, youth like you. We're going to talk about issues like violence in the community and what people like parents, law enforcement, teachers, what all they can do to help. And we're going to be talking about how we're going to be giving our own voice. You know how adults are always talking about how we can solve problems, but they never take into account what the youth think and how they feel about situations like this. And we're going to be giving our own voice. First, I would like to introduce our planning committee that helped plan this event. Please come on.
Logan, introduce yourself.
Oh, and my name is Logan Robinson. I was one of the co-chairs for planning this committee. I would also like to give a shout out to Zay. She was also a co-chair, but she couldn't be here today. So first, I would like to introduce our MC, Stephen Thompson.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? So does everybody in there have a Snapchat? Raise your hand if you do. All right, so get out your phones right now. We got a filter going. I just want to thank everybody for coming out here today. I really appreciate it. Today's going to be nice. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Now I'd like to bring up Mr. Kevin Fields, the CEO of Louisville Central Community Centers.
I'm going to speak quickly and get out of the way because today is about youth voice, but I do want to join Logan Robinson and Steve in welcoming everybody here. Today is a day of dialogue. It's a day for everybody to let their voice be heard about issues that we are all concerned about in our community, talking about issues that affect our ability as individuals, especially as young people, to be successful. So we're here to do that today. I want to encourage you all to find the opportunity to let your voice be heard. Also, I want to acknowledge some folks who are in the room, and it's been great working with this group of young people who have organized this. So I do want to acknowledge them too. They've done a great job. We've had great support from the city, but our planning committee, and this group is a part of the Mayor's Summer Works program. They've been with us for several weeks, and they've done a good job of organizing. So let's give the planning committee a hand, please. I also want to thank DJ LaCall for being in the house with us today. We're excited about him being here, so thank you, sir, for coming. I want to acknowledge my board chair who's in the house, Ms. Bonnie Lash Freeman. Ms. Bonnie, would you raise your hand? Thank you for that. I also want to acknowledge our staff at LCCC. This is under the direction of Mr. Clinton Bennett, our Director of Family Services, who does an excellent job. He's always doubling as a leader as well as a photographer, so thank you, Mr. Bennett. We also have staff. This program actually comes under our Youth Services Division, so Ms. Erica Bledsoe is our lead in that area. Ms. Erica, thank you for being here. And Ms. Erica's doing great work, getting ready to open up Beauty and the Beast. So the cast of Beauty and the Beast is in the house. We're really excited about that. That show starts next Friday, and there's 6 shows, Beauty and the Beast, and hopefully you'll get a chance to sample some of that today. Y'all ready to do something? Let them see what's coming. Well, we have to hold on that. But I do want to thank you. Again, my name is Kevin Fields. I'm President and CEO here at LCCC, and we're always glad to engage our community in ways that we can find solutions to the problems that plague us as a community. And I'm always excited about the opportunities that lie ahead, so I hope you are inspired and that you really want to bring the best out of the conversations. And I'm going to turn it back over to our MC. But before I do that, I see Miss Crystal's in the house. Miss Crystal Goodman. This is also a partnership with WLOU Radio. We have a great partnership with WLOU, so thank you for Miss Crystal. You want to bring her up, Steve? You come back and bring up Miss Crystal, and then we'll get the show started.
Good to see y'all. I would like to welcome up Mr. Crystal from WLOU Radio.
So much, Mr. Stephen. And you guys can give a better applause for that. I jumped in my car. I wasn't ready to do this today. Feeling bloated and all of 35, but I would not miss this opportunity for for the world. An opportunity to pour into and get you guys excited about life. Turn to your neighbor and say, I'm getting excited about life. Say, I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. Now we need to get some energy in this room, everybody. Just stand up a little bit and let's do a little stretch. That's what I'm talking about. Let's do it, huh? All right. And say, I am somebody. I am somebody. I'm going all the way up. Now let's make some noise. I'll do that little turn. I like that. Now, hold on, stand up a little bit. All right, well, welcome to the Mini Youth Teen Summit. And I'm actually standing in for teammate. I wish he would have had an opportunity to make it. He couldn't, so I ran down here to take part in this. But I just want to let you guys know that you are more than what the statistics say about you. You are more than what the media tries to say about you, and that you truly can. If you put it in your mind, you can be anything that you want to be. So today is an opportunity for you to sound off on things that are bothering you. I want you guys to be real. I want you to be open. I want you to give your opinions on what's going on in your world. A lot of times, we as the parents or the adults think we know what's going on, but really we have no idea. So this is a wonderful opportunity for you to come together and engage and talk and share ideas and really allow your voices to be heard, all right? All right, well, I am going to hand the mic over to our handsome MC. Ladies say hey. Mr. Stephen Thompson.
I would like to introduce Elijah Thomas.
What's happening, everybody? Y'all good? Yeah, I'm straight. Yeah. So I'm with the Youth Violence Prevention Research Center. We focusing on designing a social norming campaign in hopes to change the perception about violence out here, getting more into the root causes of things and all that. Before I get into that, once again, I want to give a shout out to these brothers right here. They put this youth summit together, man. This is youth led. We made this. We in the presence of black excellence right now, real talk. I just want to make sure especially, I want the media to see this too as well, man. Ain't no pistol toters up here, ain't no gangbangers up here, man. You see in us in our true nature, our true essence. You dig what I'm saying? This is what we really about. We created. That leads me into why this is important, because there's a campaign out here that's meant to defamate and destroy the images of black men and black women everywhere. You see it every day. A brother gets slain, he may have made a few mistakes in his life, and instead of going to the times where he's succeeded or excelled, using those pictures of him in his job, or him excelling in sports, or doing something like that, they go to the picture of a mugshot of him when he made a mistake, partially by a system that's designed for him to fail. If that ain't evidence for you, the fact that police can go out here and shoot a brother or a sister out here and get out scot-free is evident enough. There's a war out here. There's a malevolent entity that wants everybody in this room dead. And I'm just trying to be real with y'all. It's real. It's a war out here. They out for us. They throwing us in jail and everything. They targeting us for gentrification features. They got to push everybody out of here. Real talk. We about to lose our houses and homes, man. They're gonna raise the property value, and nobody can be able to come back in this mud. It's real. And part of the reason we losing that war is because we too busy fighting each other over social media, beefing, all this stuff, dying over street corners. We don't even own this stuff. That's just real, man. You don't even own the block. You holler about this is my block and everything. I run the block. You don't even own this shit. I also want to give a disclaimer. I'm a cusser. I cuss a lot. You know what I mean? But it's the real world. People cuss. Political correctness is a form of oppression. So I'm just gonna tell it like it is. This is what we living in right now. You over here stunting and spending all your money just to stun on some people that you don't even like. It don't make no sense. You could be paying off your house and doing something like that, or paying off your car, or saving money for college, but you'd rather stunt on some people you don't even like. And that's a problem, man. We don't like ourselves. It's because they don't teach us nothing positive in school. We don't get no positive imagery about us in school. They only pay attention to the youth when we shooting each other and everything like that. And that's a problem, man. We're creators out here. I I fed into the lie for a minute. Like when I was younger, man, I remember I used to always walk around thinking we wasn't shit. Period. I used to say it all the time, man. We ain't shit. We ain't shit. That ain't shit. See a brother get thrown on a cop car, man. He ain't shit. Ace heads running around the street trying to peddle like get some money for some crack. Like we ain't shit. Like houses boarded up, we ain't shit. Talking all that in school, you're mouthing off at the teacher and everything, I would think we ain't shit. But let me tell you something, like, we ain't shit thought transforms into I ain't shit thought, which then transforms to I ain't shit action. So then I became the one that was out here mouthing off at the teacher, or I was the one out here sticking people up like point blank, like all that. I became what I feared the most. I became like an I ain't shit nigga. And it got to a point where I assimilated for so long. I was doing it like to meet the standards that for other people. How many of y'all feel like y'all can't be yourselves for real? Like just be honest. Like I want us to be as transparent as possible. Like you feel like you got a front and act a certain way, you talk a certain way, they say you acting white, all that stuff, like, cause you know, intelligence and blackness ain't supposed to be lean, that's for white people. Shit ain't true, it's a lie. Like you can do anything you want to be. Like we were the first people on this planet, man. Like we create, period, we innovators. So I fed into the lie, and it got to the point where, you know, I wanted to commit suicide. Like, and to this day, man, I still struggle with that. I wanted to blow my brains out every day, man, just from feeding into this lie. I would have been doing the world a disservice if I had done that, period. Like, all y'all voices are valuable. That's why you were given a mouth in the first place. Everything you say matters. If you don't like what's going on out here, say something about it, period. That means giving it to your teacher about, like, you know, they're not teaching you your history or treating you with disrespect, like, give it to them. If your parents ain't listening to you and ain't giving you the attention you need, like, let them know. You got problems with the police? I mean, I ain't trying to get nobody shot or nothing, but like, for real, man, like, you know, there's more of us than them. Like, shoot, man, we ain't got nothing to worry about, for real, man, we strong. So, you know, I ain't gonna try to speak too long, but I just wanna urge everybody here to utilize their voice, man. Like, y'all voices matter, all y'all matter, real talk. Black lives do matter. Don't let the, you know, the world, like, get it twisted, man. Like, you know, y'all important for real, so that's all I'm gonna touch on.
All right, everyone's getting a voice today, but we want to know what you think. Interesting conversation I had with the young people who came up to the radio station the other day, and we were just talking about different things that you find yourself going through as young people. And I know there was a situation a couple of months ago at the waterfront, and I was told that it was supposed to be a peaceful situation, and it kind of turned out of control. Anybody want to talk about what happened, or why do you think that maybe, I mean, do you feel as if the community, the city has a negative impression towards young people? Anybody want to add something? I saw a hand over here. You want to say something? And wants to say, you know, maybe it was supposed to be a positive situation? No? Okay, well, let me move to something else, because I know you're probably like, no, I don't want mama to know I was down there. I probably wasn't supposed to be down there. What is it something that you feel that you're facing now as a young person? Is it peer pressure? Is it bullying? What is it? Bullying. And who said that? Now, what do you want to, how old are you? 10 years old?
Yes.
Okay, so what's going on?
People think they are.
How do you respond to that when somebody's bullying you, though?
I tell a teacher or other people so I don't get in trouble.
You tell a teacher so you don't get in trouble. Anybody have any advice for her if she's getting bullied? We don't want to fight, but you wanted to say something. What do you want to say? She's like, I wish somebody would bully me. What?
I wasn't going to say anything like giving advice, but I was going to say that how I deal with it is, I know this is an unhealthy way, but like I bottle it up and then eventually it kind of comes out in a negative way, and like I'm sorry because it's not positive, but you always try to be positive, you know what I mean? Like positivity is the best policy, you know.
Can she get a hand like, I love that. Positivity is the best policy. I like that. Put a hand over here. Somebody want to piggyback off that for me?
Well, I want to say that if anybody tries to mess with you or try to put their hands on you, always try to defend yourself, or if there's like adult around, you should always go to them, and if they don't handle it, to your parents, because Your parents are the people who helped you, who told you, or like disciplined you what to do and what not to do. Because there's a difference between doing the right thing and the wrong thing. And you should always try to do the right thing before you try to go wrong. So make sure you do right.
I like it. Maybe else has anything else you want to sound? I got some hands back here, and then we're going to get to our next person over here. Well, I like both of you. Hi, Jaya. You're so beautiful. Like, say hi.
One thing we deal with as children is drama, a lot of drama.
Drama. We still deal with it as adults.
Yeah, but it starts to cause a lot of he said, she said, and it gets out of hand, and then it leads to violence most of the
But
time.
how do you handle it? Or what's the best approach you would say?
Don't worry about what everybody else says about you, because you know what you are on the inside and on the outside. So don't worry about what everybody else says about you.
So,
Another thing that I'm gonna say most teens or people my age go through is peer pressure, trying to, I guess, fit in with the crowd or whatever, being like everybody else. For me, I used to do that, but after all, I was just like, I don't do that anymore. Because it's like, you be yourself. If you trying to be like everybody else, at the point of even being in the world, like if everybody's the same, there's not a point in. I don't know.
Absolutely.
and aren't you playing Belle? Yeah, she's playing Belle and Beauty and the Beast, so make sure to check it out. And I really feel like being involved in programs like the Louisville Central Community Center has to offer. It gives you a better sense of self and who you are. And once you begin to start working in your gifts and working in your talents, you're less likely to try to be like somebody else because you're like, hey, I'm a leader, not a follower. Say, I am a leader. All right, Mr. Stephen, you want to introduce our next panelist? And I wanted to take time to hear from you because truly that's the purpose of this event, to allow you to sound off and speak on things that are going on in your community, in your world, because how can we try to help if we don't know what's going on, right? Amen? Amen.
All right, let's give those people another round of applause. Okay, coming up next, we have from the City of Healthy and Safe Neighborhoods, Mr. Derek Mitchell.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much. By the way, let's give a hand for Miss Crystal. Don't we love what she does? I sat back and I listened to the young lady state about being positive. I listened to the other young lady speak about being unique. In a world full of copycats, being original. Look around you. Everyone in here looks different. What do we do with that? So what I want to show you today is a conflict resolution model that we use. So I'm gonna go grassroots with my approach. That's why I have Brother Elijah, because we're working together, showing team building. Because we as a people have to learn how to work together and like each other, first and foremost. So, what I'm gonna show y'all, ladies, it might be very far from your eye, but you will be able to grasp exactly what I'm saying. This is a DVD. This is a DVD of your life. Okay? So during your life, you might experience certain traumatic experiences. So let's say for the first traumatic experience at age 11, you see your mother being domestically abused by your stepfather. To the point where he has her head in a washer, slamming the door down on her head. And the only thing you can do as an 11-year-old is grab the nearest vase that's in your living room, you know, the one that had the old wickers that grew out of it, and you actually break it over his back at 11. This is going to cause a scratch on your DVD. You know, that experience stains you. It remains with you at times. It goes back through your memory. You replay what happened. So let's say the next experience at age 12, you're relocated. You move from Salem, New Jersey, all the way to Hopkinsville, Kentucky. So now you're a culture shock. You went from the East Coast to the West, to the Mid-South, excuse me. And now you're meeting different people. You're away from your family. That could cause another scratch on your DVD. So by age 12, there's already several scratches on your DVD. How many know what happens when you have scratches on a DVD?
It skips.
It skips. It doesn't.
It pauses and it keeps and it stay pausing and just stay there until something moves again.
You stay stagnant. You don't move beyond it. It skips. It doesn't play to its functionality. Uh-oh. I'm going somewhere. Stay with me. Next scratch. Age 18. You graduate from high school. You think you're grown. Right? Doing your thing, getting some money working. This situation, gentleman was at a nightclub. And he had a Jordan shirt on with his new retro 3s, herringbone necklace, ball fade, as usual. And it was somebody else whose DVD was scratched who approached this gentleman because maybe he had some turmoil in his life. Maybe his parents weren't there. Maybe he's seen domestic violence. So he approaches the other gentleman and says, hey, my man, give me something, run your pockets. So you know how we do, we too cool, what we gonna say? You can't have my money, you can't have my money, right? So that led to where he followed the gentleman to the after party, because that first was a party, then it's the after party, right? So the after party transpires where usually we shouldn't be at after certain hours. Because the only things happen after certain hours, our parents already had that discussion, so I'm not gonna do it. Well, the gentleman approaches him again. Yo, my man, but this time it's slightly different. There's something shining in his hand. He raises it to his temple. It's a 22mm pistol now. Now it just got real. He tells him, run your pockets. But the young man is still so intoxicated in what he was indulging in. You know, young guys like to do different things. They call it laugh, you know. So you on your stuff, and you thinking in a mindset that's not reality. And the gentleman pulls the trigger, but it doesn't go off. You shake, you look, I'm still here. He asks you again, run your pockets, my man, give me something. And you tell him, you don't work, you don't eat, you don't grind, you don't shine, I ain't giving you nothing. He pulls it out again, pop, pop, pop! So by this time you're counting the bullets. Someone comes to the rescue, says, young man, you need to get and get up out of here. Both of you guys are dating. You cry. You don't tell your parents. You know you shouldn't have been out there anyway. You go home. You realize you were enrolled conditionally to Kentucky State University with a 13 on your ACT. So you decide you want to go to college because you want to do something different. You made it through there for a reason. You didn't die. You were supposed to die. That's another scratch. That DVD is my life. My name is Derek Mitchell. I work in the Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods as a cure violence interrupter. So everything I went through, it positioned me for what I'm now doing. It's medicine for somebody else. I couldn't look at it as a bad thing because my glass isn't halfway empty, it's halfway full. You ever look at Facebook? It shows you your memories, something you posted a year ago, 4 years ago, and it brings back a moment that you said something or you did something, and you realize, I made it through that. I can make it through this. And from that standpoint, it's positioned me to where I am. I got some notes for y'all. Brother Elijah, thank you so much. You can have a seat. I'm only going to be a couple more minutes with y'all. But I wanted to share something with you. It's important that we don't tell our kids what to think. We have to show them how to think. And it's a difference. Because when you're in these situations of peer pressure, people pressuring you to have premature sex. Yeah, it's time for this right to die. You have to to be already in a simulation mode where you went through it before practicing it. So how do I practice that? When a situation arrives, you ask yourself, what's going to happen to me if I take this into my hands? Who's going to be affected by my decisions? And from that standpoint, it becomes a habit. Anything you do after 21 days, you form a habit. And so you practice that, and you practice that, and that's called resilience. And that's what we do at the Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods. We have ambassadors now. We have young men and women that have been 17, shot, and now traveling in different Kroger distributions. And he speaks Spanish, y'all, he's from the hood. This brother now is growing up at 17 because he took what was meant to destroy him, and now he's here before you guys. So I just wanted to take this time to tell you, be the one to make a difference. If you see a situation, you know what to do. Y'all know what to do. And I look every one of you in the eyes, and all of y'all want to be great. Like Tupac Shakur said, I may not be the one to be the president of the United States, the one that cures AIDS, but I might speak into the lives and plant the seed of one of you great minds and invigorate you to do it. This is about shaking y'all up. I know y'all tired of seeing what goes on in y'all neighborhoods. Be the one to make the difference. Nobody else is going to do it but you. But you. If you love yourself, you're not going to fight this brother. But if you hate yourself when you look in the mirror and you see what you see and you don't like it, it's hard for you to get along with other people. Don't be jealous of their hair length. Don't be jealous of that brother having a 2-parent household. Get to know them. That's your opportunity. That's why you're different. That's what gumbo is about. It's a pot full of ingredients of different assortments, and it makes a great tasting dish. That's what you do. You're a melting pot. You learn from each other. But if you hate one another, you'll never learn. If you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. And that's the problem we face. We have to love each other. And I love y'all today. And I thank you for allowing me to speak to you.
All right, thank you so much. He was from the Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods, and basically it is a division of Louisville Metro government that was created to try to figure out what can we do to stop the violence in this community? What can we do to make sure that our next generation does not get entangled in the mess? And we have lots of you going off to college or what? Yes, did you want to ask a question? Oh, okay. So to make sure that, you guys have a bright future. Interesting statistics that I just ran upon. Did you know that 80% of adults are working in a job that they do not like? And did you know that now is the time for you to figure out what do you want to be when you grow up? I know it sounds like a silly question, but sometimes adults are still asking themselves that question. What do I want to be when I grow up? What do you want to do? Do you know your passion? Just yell out something. What do you want to do? A lawyer, a singer, actress, and you're that. What else? A lawyer. Wow, okay. So do you know that it starts now, though? It starts now. The Bible tells us to write the vision, make it plain. I know all y'all go to church, you grew up in church, so I can do it here, okay? Write down on a piece of paper what you want to do when you grow up. And then look at it. How much money will you make, if that matters to you? What kind of career path will you look at? Really begin to visualize and set your life up right now. 9 times out of 10, the friends that you have now, they won't be your friends in about 10 years. The problems that you're facing now will no longer be an issue in about a year. And so now, what you do now will truly affect how your future will be. Amen? Amen. All right. All right, our wonderful host here, he is actually going to go into broadcasting. So he is actually working now into what it is he wants to be. Mr. Stephen, when did you decide that you wanted to go into broadcasting?
Probably about a decision I made last year.
Last year? What brought you to that point?
It's just, people always say, why don't you try broadcast? Why don't you try broadcast? So I know so much about sports and stuff, and they was like, try something new. I was like, I take that off.
All right, who's your favorite broadcaster?
Probably Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen F. Smith. He's got the same name as you. Where is this? He on ESPN or what?
He's on First Take.
On First?
First Take on Sports Center.
Oh, on Sports Center. Okay, so let me hear your best broadcaster voice announce our next guest. Come on now, you can't be shy. Come on, y'all. Say, come on, Stephen. You can do that. Come on, turn it on.
Okay. Introducing next, she is a graduate from DuPont Manual High School. Our panel moderator for the day is Miss Gia Combs.
No. Hold on. When you're a broadcaster, you gotta draw out that last part. What's her name again? Okay, let's try it again. You say Gia Combs. Tell it again. You gotta get the mic. Go ahead.
Gia Combs.
Good morning, everyone. So my name is Gia Combs. I just graduated from DuPont Manual High School, and I'm going to be a freshman at U of L studying psychology this fall. I'm excited about that. So we just met some fantastic speakers. We've got Derek Mitchell from the Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods. We've got Dewana Hatter, also from the Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods, and we have Mr. Elijah Thomas. So, I guess I skipped over a part. I'm supposed to tell about my role in the community. So, I was also a member of the Teen Leadership Council here at the Louisville Central Community Center, and our motto was learning while serving others as we reach for adulthood. So, I feel like for me, that is kind of my role, you could say. Most of our goals are to go to college and get our degree. So I feel like giving back to the community and just getting yourself out there as much as possible, getting involved in activities and clubs like the amazing programs we have here are really important in keeping you on the right track to get you to college. So I took a couple notes. One question for us to think about was, based on the information given from the speaker, like, what's your feedback? So for me, sorry, you're gonna have to bear with me. I took several notes on here, it's kind of messy, but definitely I heard several people in the audience talking about the influences of like peer pressure and social media and drama, and that can definitely fuel a fire and cause violence. So I think it's really important to basically be yourself and not conform to peer pressure. Just recognizing any bad situations, your surroundings, and the people that you surround yourself with is really important. Let's see, also, it's really hard being African American in this community today. There are always going to be people trying to knock us down, and we just got to keep our heads up and keep pushing and keep trying. I know me personally, I went to Manual, and it's supposedly one of the most diverse schools in the whole county, which it definitely is, but you definitely come across issues race-wise. So sometimes you find yourself being the only African American in one class, or maybe in your history class you don't really get to dig deeper into our culture because, maybe they don't want to teach us as much about it as we want to know. But it's really important to just stay strong and speak up for what you believe in, because our actions and our words have so much power, and we all need to recognize that we have so much potential to do great things, and we shouldn't fall into violence. So I think that's really important. So as Mr. Derek Mitchell said, he said, show kids how to think, not what to think. So for example, like when your parents are telling you what to do and you don't want to listen, I know we've all had these experiences, but it's better to, I guess, persuade your kids a better way of thinking rather than just telling them, like, you need to do this, do that, do this, do that. Because 9 times out of 10, they're probably not going to listen, and then you're going to get into an argument or whatever, and they're going to go out, they're gonna end up in the wrong neighborhoods, they're gonna end up hanging out with the wrong friends, and it's gonna end up bad for all of us. So I think that's a really important thing that I took away, and that in violent experiences, they definitely do make scars. So once you get so many, it can break you. But if you look at Mr. Derek Mitchell, he used the things he learned. He used his life story to get him to where he is today, and he's doing something passionate. He's doing something that he loves, and he's making a difference in the community. So I think we should all just look at that and, you know, make an example of him and look at him as a role model. So that's what I took away. Yeah, so I think we're about to open things up for questions for our panel. So we were gonna start with how has violence affected you all personally? So I guess we can start with Ms. Hatter.
Okay. My name is Luana Hatter, and I am also a community outreach specialist for the Office of Health, Safety, Health and Neighborhoods. I have the opportunity and honor to work with Mr. Derek Mitchell, so I was really proud of him. Violence has affected me personally. I grew up in Beecher Terrace housing apartments. I'm a Beecher baby from birth to about 19 years old. I lived in Beecher Terrace. I was in the down block gang, so I participated in violence. And so that's how it affected my life. I dabbled and dabbled in a lot of things. And when I got out of the streets, I went to Spalding University, and I graduated in 2012 with a bachelor's degree in psychology. And so, you know, on the flip side, seeing, you know, youngsters who were kind of under my wing when I was in the street kind of grow up, I was able to go back and speak life where I was once speaking death. You know, I encouraged a lot of youth, unfortunately, to get in the streets and use drugs as a financial supplement. So I was able to help them get off the streets, find jobs and things of that nature. But unfortunately, being a part of the streets, I buried about 13 friends due to gun violence. So it's affected me because I was in it, because I buried it because of it, and now I am using my life and my story as a way to stop it.
Well, like Derek said, you know, it's like a scratch on your DVD that you never really get over. I live in Alabama, so, you know, ain't stuff ain't too good down there for real. You know, it's that black part of town, random drugs, people are desperate trying to get by. And, you know, you witness stuff as you grow up, and after a while, you wait in the water for that long, like, you know, you start to get used to it. So you naturally adapt to your surroundings, so that leads you to, you know, enact on certain behaviors that you normally wouldn't in order to get by. And at the end of the day, you end up becoming a perpetrator after a while. You know, you start enacting on the very behaviors that you fear, and you know, by enacting on those behaviors, being around people who also did, it gave me a more in-depth look at why people react the way they do. Oftentimes, you know, we just think that, like, sometimes we think it's always from a place of aggression, but sometimes it can be from a place of fear. Some people are just scared, like they don't know any other thing, any other way to react. They just want to get it out of the way as soon as possible. That's why we're so quick to pull the trigger. It's not really that, you know, we want to kill somebody. Sometimes it's just that we're afraid to die. So, you know, that's really what it is. It changes, like, you know, change the way I view violence as a witness, and it comes in many shapes and forms too. We oftentimes think it's just, you know, bullet to bullet, but it's also verbal, like the way you speak to one another is a way of violence. You speaking, like she said, speaking death constantly, like that's violence. You know, you perpetuate that in someone else's head and make it them to perform violent actions. Or, you know, the domestic abuse, suicide, like it comes in various different shapes and forms, like chameleons. So yeah, it's definitely like the exposure to it has given me a different way of looking at it, but through that exposure, like I can express it.
to being like, now I'm the salt agent. How many of you like chicken noodle soup in here? So, would you eat chicken noodle soup if it was bland without salt? No. And the salt in the soup is what changes the taste. The soup doesn't change the salt. So by us being the salt, being that you went through violence, being you went through seeing crack in your community, you went through seeing people being abused. Once you get to the point where you can make a difference, you go back to that area and then you're able to help them. That's what the salt does, it helps the soup. So in return, it's supposed to help the people that see you go through traumatic situations. You can't get brand new milk and you bougie and say, I don't go down there no more. I don't mess with it. No, you gotta go back and help them because somebody helped you along the way to where your consciousness and your emotional intelligence came aboard. So I look at it as medicine for someone else.
All right, so our next question is, how would you advise your peers? I guess we can start on the other side.
How I would advise my peers is to lead by example. People don't want to follow you. Thank you so much. People don't want to follow you if you're not leading what you're talking about. Even in a bad way. We see certain mumble rap, drill music rap, and we'll follow it if the beat's hot. Even though the lyrics might be bad. And just like in a positive way, people will follow you when you get involved in different activities in your school. You step out on a limb and play golf. You play lacrosse. You do different activities than the normal. And they say, man, he still got swagger. Man, he still keep himself clean. He's still admired in the community. I ran cross country in high school, wrestled, played tennis. Everybody else played football, basketball. I went in ROTC. They sent me to Pensacola, Florida, Panama City. It broadened my horizon. It changed my dynamics of seeing what was going on just in my community. So I seen a different way of life that people were living. And I wanted that. So I tell you to do the same thing.
On the real, like, you know, you just gotta look at what makes you happy. Like, you only get one life, period. Like, once it's gone, it's gone. Are you really gonna spend the majority of your life conforming to what other people want? Like, they're not giving you what you need. They're not paying your bills. They're not gonna keep you from getting killed or anything like that. Like, it's not worth it at the end of the day. Like you said, like, you know, we follow these mumble rappers and everything. Like, we're living vicariously through someone else. Like, this ain't even your life that you're living, really. Like, you living through somebody else. You living through that ball player because he can hoop and everything. You might not really be a hooper. Like, you know, it's not your life. At the end of the day, you get, like they say, YOLO, I hate that term, but for real, like, you only get one. So, you know, you gotta do what makes you happy at the end of the day. And that means going out on a limb, fine. Like, you know, you gotta be happy with yourself at the end of the day. Go back to self-love. Like, you dig what I'm saying? So, yeah, like, do what makes you happy. Like, forget what everybody else thinks.
Oh, you want to go clap? Okay. My advice, I would say never be afraid to dream. And the reason why I say that is because growing up in Beach Terrace, I thought my life was gonna be confined to Beach Terrace. I didn't really have a lot of opportunities to travel. My mom's single mother of 6. I'm the oldest of 6, so I naturally became the second parent. So, you know, my paycheck was going to cover household responsibilities and not going towards me. But I was an avid reader. I read a lot, and that gave me the opportunity to, you know, go across the world and use my imagination to travel. So that broadened my horizon, like my other panelists have said. So I say don't be afraid to dream. If God gives you a vision, trust Him in that. I'm the organizer of 2 large community events. One was founded in 2013. And if you are in high school and will be a senior in high school, you'll probably be participating in that event. It's held at the Young Center every year. It's the Louisville College Shining Day. And that was a dream that God gave me that I stepped out on. I also am the organizer of Church Youth Day at Kentucky Kingdom. And that's where church youth groups from all over Kentucky gather for a day and go to Kentucky Kingdom. So whatever you have, don't let finances, don't let anything stop you from living your dream.
Okay, well, those are all the questions that I have up here, but I just want to, I think we're about to start our breakout sessions, but I just want to say thank you for having me here. I hope you all reach for the stars and dream high. If any of you all have questions for me, I'll leave my contact with Mr. Fields. If you don't ever want to talk or anything like that, it was an honor to speak to you all. I'm not